one of Texas's most impressive natural wonders. Slicing through the Rocky Hills, Seminole Canyon winds for 3 miles before joining the Rio Grande. Its limestone cliffs, hundreds of feet tall, and its stories, thousands of years old. We're kicking off our exploration here at the Visitor Center with Park Superintendent Randy Rosales.
Tell me a little bit about how this canyon was formed.
Well, the canyon itself was actually formed over 100 million years ago, when over 3/4 of the state of Texas was under the shallow ocean. But the Gulf of Mexico extended all the way to where we are now. At one time, this area was covered in grasslands and forests. We had prehistoric elephants, camels, horses. Eventually that changed, and the climate changed, and it became more of a desert-like environment.
It was during those fertile years that the first known Texans appeared on the timeline of history, which many estimate at 12,000 years ago. We call them, well, truthfully, we don't know what to call them.
We don't know who they were. We don't have a name for them. They're not affiliated with any modern tribe that we know of today. What we do know is a little bit about their lifestyle based on the artifacts that we find, evidence that they've left behind, even some of the rock art that they've left behind.
It's the rock art of the Trans-Pecos and is considered some of the most extraordinary in the world. It's our only window into their world and has taught us many things about them. It seems they traveled in small, nomadic family groups, likely following the food, which consisted of animals like deer, bison, and fish. They hunted with atlatls, a sort of throwing spear long before the bow and arrow. They worshipped things, we believe, sometimes animals, sometimes people, sometimes both. And just like modern Texans, well, they loved the stars and the land where they lived. But then they faded away, leaving behind their lives in stories of stone. And right below the Visitor Center is one of their largest shelters called Fate Bell, which we're setting out to see for ourselves.
All right, so we are heading down into Seminole Canyon, which you can only do on a guided tour for a few reasons. One, because it is dangerous down in the canyon. But two, there's so many, important archaeological sites that they just got to make sure that folks are doing what they should. And you get a ranger to answer questions. We got Randy. Here's the stairs. Oh, now we're talking. Down on the canyon floor.
Amazing to think of this canyon as the home of ancient peoples. The Fate Bell shelter takes some hiking, but it's totally worth it and full of amazing rock art.
So this is Fate Bell Annex.
Cool.
As you can see, many of the drawings are very abstract. They don't kind of make sense to what we normally recognize today. Like that, a lot of people call that a centipede or some sort of worm-looking drawing in there.
I could see a centipede. He's got legs.
Then you have this drawing right over here. He seems to be holding up 2 stalks or maybe a she. Notice the long strandy hair flowing out of the top of its head.
What's our best guess at how old they are?
Well, these have been dated, carbon dated, to be an average about 4,000 years old.
Wow.
Making them the oldest known rock art sites in all of North America. Just kind of give you an idea of how old that is. These drawings were being painted at the very same time the Egyptian pyramids were being built.
Wow.
So yeah, ancient. And just like the pyramids, they're covered in mystery. Some of the forms are clear, like the panthers, more commonly called mountain lions. Then there's the sunshine bugs, swimming fish people. I tell you, this stuff is crazy. The main shelter is impressive, and this would have been their home. This stone, their butcher block, still scarred by ancient tomahawk strikes. There are smoke stains on the ceiling from their campfires, and even remnants of their old bed mats. Almost the entire 450-foot length of this shelter is covered in paintings, and there are indeed some head scratchers.
What is this?
This is a pretty unique site.
So what is it? Is it a winged deer man?
A lot of people call it the triad panel, even though there's actually 4 figures within it. Archaeologists believe that this represents some sort of ceremony. And they all seem to be gathered around this center being right in here. What we're surrounded by is rocks and minerals. And the neat thing about rocks and minerals is they come in all different colors. So they would grind them up into a powder, and so the black rocks would have given you the black color, your red rocks, the red color, and so on and so forth.
Very, very thought out.
It was a thought out plan, for sure.
Wow. This is kind of like the West Texas chupacabra. He's like the winged deer man. Do people still see him in the canyon?
Along with the aliens, yeah.
Yeah, okay. This is the Marfa-lights. This is what's actually behind the Marfa-lights.
What came out, yeah.
Of course, with any mystery, there are, we'll call them theories about everything. To see the full episode or to get info about how to visit this spot, trip on over to thedaytripper.com.